Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MKS here, back with the fourth and final part of my dreams to work with FIFA. As ever, I've got a cup of tea with me, which is pretty bad because it's already past 1 in the morning here in the UK. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll try not to waffle too much. But I thought for this one, I would focus on what I would love for my legacy to be, so to speak. Hopefully not in an arrogant way. Hopefully it doesn't come across arrogant or anything like that. But what I would want my legacy to be, and to record basically what I hope to achieve ASAP. I suppose I haven't really thought of a date or a certain time frame, but ASAP really is literally as soon as possible. The sooner the better, quicker the better, and that kind of thing. And ideally, I would have achieved or at least some of these things already, but I know it's a bit vague. I haven't really got a specific time frame because I know it's probably quite good to have some sort of time scale of when you want to achieve something, but I haven't really thought of that so far. But I'd love to know what you think as ever, and any tips you have on like how I could achieve these things, how I could set goals that are realistic or whatever, or big goals, but how I can work towards them, or find a way to set certain dates of when I could achieve things. But yeah, basically ASAP really. I wanted it done yesterday, so to speak, as the saying goes. But yeah, so this is what I hope to achieve as soon as possible, and what I'd love for my legacy to be and whatnot. So in the future, hopefully I'll be able to look back on these things and say I achieved something, or some things even, preferably as much as possible. So yeah, so these are ideas number 31 to 40 as a part 4. And again, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope football fans all around the world will share these videos, including this one. So yeah, so here goes. So number 31, hopefully as soon as possible, I would have worked with FIFA, U.E.F.A, and possibly others, as well as including charities, NGOs, football authorities, associations, or whatnot, especially Italian football and Celtic as well, and look to how to help to improve the beautiful game and improve the image of the beautiful game, i.e. football. Pele called it the beautiful game, yeah, look at how to make football as positive and productive as possible, how to help football to make the world a better place. So that's something I hope I will have achieved, again, ASAP. Number 32, I hope to have learned as many things as possible about football and shared my ideas and showed what I can do as a neurodiverse and a mentally ill and mixed race person for football. From a biased point of view, possibly even like I'd love for maybe, I don't know if I should say this term, but an olive skin person or olive skin people, showcase what we can do. That's quite a controversial one, but I suppose that would include Mediterranean nations, the Middle East and all that, also possibly transcontinental and especially Eurasian nations, and that kind of thing. Number 33, also I hope that I will have given fans a voice as much as possible. I hope that I will have found a way to, again, ASAP, I hope to give fans a voice as much as possible as well, as soon as possible and as much as possible, so fans could vote on, like, if there's any rule changes, laws of the game, like things like offside rules or things like that. Like, to me, offside should be if your full body is past the last defender. I think they should keep it quite simple, but it should be only if your full body is past the defender. Just like if the ball's out of play, the whole ball has to go out of play before it's out of play. So I don't think it should be like if your elbow is past the last defender or something like that. But again, I'd love to know what other football fans. I don't think, I don't, as ever, I don't want, as a libertarian and someone who believes in free speech, freedom of expression generally, and things like that, I don't want to push my own views onto other people where other people don't have views, or I don't listen to other people's views, or I ignore them. I hope there'll be like opinion polls and things like that, and also I hope people find out more facts about football. 34, point number 34, I dreamed that, I know I'm repeating a lot of the points that I mentioned in parts 1, 2 and 3, but again, as soon as possible, preferably yesterday, so to speak, literally as soon as possible, I would love to encourage investment, as much investment as possible into Italian football and Celtic, and somehow I hope to have convinced those involved in the weapons trade to, instead of investing in weapons, as I mentioned before, the biblical teaching, like swords into plowshares. I dreamed that it would be like weapons into, instead of investing into weapons, they would have invested into football, preferably Italian football and Celtic, in my point of view. So, and I hope that Italian football fans and Celtic fans will reward such by buying from such companies. Basically, it'd be good for their PR, I hope. And we come together, just like the boycott campaigns, the BDS campaign, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. This can instead be the opposite way around, like buying from companies which are more ethical. Obviously, price and things like that, and necessity will come into it as well, whether we actually need those things. But just try and support those companies as much as possible, like promote those companies, post links on them. It'd be interesting if football fans could post links of those who invest in football instead of wars. So it could be like invest in football instead of war. Again, that would be good for hopefully for FIFA's PR and for the image of football generally as well. I'll say from a bias point of view, I would love for that investment to go into Italian football and stroke or Celtic, preferably both as much as possible. I think that would be quite interesting if those billions that are invested into the weapons trade instead could be invested into Italian football and Celtic, and it became lucrative, as lucrative or preferably more lucrative than weapons and wars and things like that. So that'd be a great way to make peace through football. But maybe I'm being naive, and I'd love to know what people think about that. Another thing I was going to say is hopefully that will give Italian football and stroke or Celtic a good reputation as well. Hopefully people will say that Italian football and Celtic represents peace. I'd love for Mediterranean, I was going to say Republic, but Mediterranean, Middle Eastern and transcontinental, or even, and especially Eurasian nations to be military neutral and learn from the Swiss, as a side note. I know that's not specifically football related, but in Italy's case, I would love for them to specifically focus on how they could get investment, and just like the Swiss, basically being the football version of the Swiss. So whereas with the Swiss, it's they get a lot of they do it in the financial sector. I dream that Italian football would do it in the football sector, or Italy would do it in the football sector, and also Celtic could do stuff like that as well. And number 35. So yeah, I hope to work on those goals and dreams through football. Number 36, again, benefiting Italian football and looking at all the ways Italian football can be improved to be as good as possible. I'll say including the investment into, from the country's point of view, from the national team's point of view, in other words, on how they can build football pitches and give people opportunities so they can develop the game as soon as possible, as much and as quickly as possible. One of my fears for Italian football is it won't be improved as quickly as I'd like, but I hope to do so as quickly as possible. Obviously, I can only share what ideas I have and look at what I can do to help in the smartest and hardest possible way, or smartest way possible and hardest way necessary, perhaps. I prefer things to be easy, basically. That's what I'm trying to say in some sort of poetic way. But yeah, I fear that it might take a long time for Italian football to develop, because even if Italian football did develop, I wonder if I worry whether we, as a fan of Italian football, have the players to win the World Cup ASAP. I hope we do within the rules of the game, even if we get some bit of luck or lucky decisions, as long as it's not like match fixing or anything illegal or whatnot, and preferably as ethically as possible as well. But as much investment as possible, and for the club teams, I was going to say, for them to buy better players as well, things like that. Number 37, similar for Celtic, basically. Number 38, promoting peace and love, as I say, through football and how football can be used for good. Again, I hope to have achieved those things as soon as possible. So how football generally could be used to bring people together, build bridges, promote diversity through football. For instance, if you have multi-ethnic teams and things like that, where they work together and talk about how you work towards the same goal in spite of your differences in race or ethnicity or colour of skin or whatever, religion even, your work or whatever it is, you're working towards the same goal, which is scoring more than the opposition. So hopefully that can be, and I know a lot of football teams have already done that sort of stuff. I hope to continue that work and look at how clubs, including Italian clubs and Celtic and others as well, can improve those images through football. I was discussing recently how I'd love for migrants in Italy, as I often mentioned, to help to build the football pitches and to be involved in football and to have their own teams. And someone disagreed, and they said like that would be seen as like slave labor, or that black people are only good for, or migrants are only good for building football pitches. And also, like, if the teams are ethnic minority teams or minority or migrant teams, that they would play separately, so that could cause more division. So that was their opinion. But I think there could be mixed teams as well and things like that. So I hope over time it will show what migrants can contribute. And as I often say, like, I think Italians could see like that they could benefit from migration in football through like just like Brazil has done over generations and France has done. Again, I know I mentioned those points quite a few times. But yeah, I hope football can do a lot of good fundraising and things like that, and get more people involved in football and see how it can bring people together. Like when I went to Kenya and I worked with a school in Kenya, when I got the football out, I think you can see how happy people were and how people were involved. And I think football is a great thing that can bring people together. But obviously, I'm a bit biased because it is my favourite sport, as you can probably tell. Number 39. I'm sure that there was a few points I was going to make, but I completely forgotten. But yeah, as I say, I hope to achieve my goals and to improve the image of neurodiverse people with mental health problems, and people from different backgrounds. And again, look at how football can be used as a bridge and a positive side of neurodiversity or even mental health, where, like I say, there's a method in the madness, so we can showcase what we can contribute to Italian football and Celtic and football generally. And number 40, if I've forgotten any points, I'll probably post them in the comment section, but I'd love to know what others think. I'll probably be kicking myself again because I often forget things and think, oh yeah, that was a point I was supposed to say. I'm sure there was something earlier I was thinking I'll include this point later. But anyway, I think that's enough of me waffling. But as ever, I'd love to know what you think. How do you think fans could get involved more? How do you think football clubs can connect with their fans more, give them more of a voice, even national teams? I'd love to know what you think. And I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you have a good day, evening, afternoon, or whatever, depending on which part of the world you are in. And anyway, I am out. Peace and love.